Hello, everyone. Back again. Victor's still working on his video. He'll be on soon, believe you me. We're still on Sunday, June 13th. And I'm bringing you another Watchman party. Out of the Darkness is back again. He's doing a lot of updates, so we want to share those things. And we also wanted to share a Watchman for Nick Moseder. He shares a lot of great information, and these guys are out there, boots on the ground. They're even traveling to places and finding out things, and getting exclusive, great interviews with people that are directly involved in some of these states. So it's important for us to share what's going on with them. So I'm going to start. First of all, I want to remind everyone to please like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we're trying to grow our YouTube. And we also have a channel on Rumble now, because we did already get our first warning for telling the truth on this platform, which, well, we're on multiple platforms right here, but in YouTube on specific is the one. So anyways, the one that I'm going to read, or that I'm going to play, is DOJ preparing to stop AZ audit. Okay. And that's crazy, but I'm gonna play it for you.
Scrutinizing the Maricopa County forensic audit and all post-election audits going forward. He said, quote, "Some jurisdictions, based on disinformation, have utilized abnormal post-election audit methodologies that may put the integrity of the voting process at risk and undermine public confidence in our democracy." Okay, so abnormal post-election methodologies. Yeah, we're looking at the paper and seeing whether or not it's real or fake for the first time in American history. It's never been done before. So yes, it is abnormal. But to say that this forensic audit will put the integrity of the voting process at risk is the most ass backwards and ludicrous thing I can possibly think of. To think that a forensic audit of an election will destroy our democracy is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I digress. He goes on to say that audits like Arizona will come under scrutiny to ensure they abide by federal statutory requirements to protect election records and to avoid the intimidation of voters. He said, "We will also publish guidance explaining the civil and criminal statutes that apply to post-election audits." Okay, so guys, we got to understand what's going on here, because this is the name of the game. The feds have absolutely no jurisdiction to interfere with an individual state's right to conduct and investigate their own elections. However, the Department of Justice is looking for any federal statute violation which would give them jurisdiction here. So they have to actually manufacture the jurisdiction, and there's only two ways they can do that. There's two federal statutes which they are focused on, and one is the destruction of the election material that has to be preserved for a period of 22 months. Now, I already know they failed to find any foothold with this, because we had Katie Hobbs come out and say, "Oh, they broke the chain of custody with the machines. They're no good anymore. We can't use them." To me, that's a total indicator that they've tried and they have failed on that front. So now it's a focus on the canvassing portion of this audit. Voter intimidation, because that's the other one. Yes, it seems like accusing the auditors of voter intimidation, wrongfully so, is the only beacon of hope that they have left to interfere with this process and stop the American people from knowing the truth. Now, before we get any further, let's first understand exactly what the law says voter intimidation is. So the U.S. Code says, whoever intimidates, threatens, coerces, or attempts to intimidate, threaten, or coerce any other person for the purpose of interfering with the right of such other person to vote, or to vote as he may choose, or of causing such other person to vote for, or not to vote for, any candidate for the office of president, vice president, presidential elector, member of the Senate, member of the House of Representatives, delegate from the District of Columbia, or resident commissioner at any election held solely or in part for the purpose of electing such candidate, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. And so now let's look at a list of examples of voter intimidation. aggressively questioning voters about their citizenship, criminal record, or other qualifications to vote in a manner intended to interfere with the voters' rights, falsely presenting oneself as an elections official, spreading false information about voter requirements such as an ability to speak English or the need to present certain types of photo identification, displaying false or misleading signs about voter fraud and the related criminal penalties, other harassment, particularly toward non-English speakers and voters of color. Now, again, brain cells in action here. This sounds a lot like something that would happen prior to an election, right? Because we're trying to intimidate or coerce somebody to vote in a particular way or not to vote at all prior to an election, right? This really doesn't apply here in this situation where we have the canvassing portion of a forensic audit post-election, right? Because the people have already voted or not voted. So that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Of course not. But let's remember what we're dealing with here. We're not dealing in facts. We're dealing with a bunch of corrupt bastards who are clearly panicking as we are over the target and we're getting really close to the truth coming out, which could land them in prison or worse. So they have to find a way. Anyway, and so this canvassing portion of the audit is the only way because everything else is under lock and key and live stream 24/7. We can see everything. We know it's secure and transparent, and you have no way to say otherwise. But the canvassing portion, we're not actually recording everything. So, you can make stuff up, which is exactly what's happening here. And I'm going to show you guys in just 1 second what Liz Harris sent me yesterday, and it's going to really blow your mind here. Now, first, let's remember that the DOJ previously sent a threatening letter to Karen Fann about the canvassing portion of the audit, and Karen Fann responded saying that we are going to put that aspect on hold for now and may resume later. And we had Liz Harris, continuing with her canvassing efforts, and there was actually this thing that happened where they set up radio ads saying, if people are coming to your door and you feel like they are intimidating you, call this hotline and make a complaint so that they could use that later. Well, that brings us to this. Check this out, guys. This just in, guys. The same day that Merrick Garland made these comments, Yavapai County Sheriff's Office releases this. People posing as employees of the Yavapai County Recorder's Office. The Yavapai County Recorder's Office has received calls from concerned citizens regarding individuals knocking on their doors asking questions for a survey in our county. They are being asked if they voted and if they did, who they voted for. There have been instances where individuals have identified themselves as volunteers for the Yavapai County Recorder's Office and asked who resides in the home. When asked for county ID, they could not provide it. These people do not work for or with the county recorder's office. These instances have been reported to the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, who are concerned this type of activity may be an attempt to gain personal information for fraudulent purposes. Please be assured that the recorder's office will never send anyone to a residence asking survey questions, nor would they ask voters for personal information to include information about a candidate. So there you have it, folks. Yavapai County is about 2 hours out of Phoenix, where Scottsdale is located. The canvassers are going all around Arizona. So we are starting the narrative already that the canvassers here are going around posing as county recorders and asking who you voted for. Both things are utterly and blatantly false, because we know that the canvassers are only going around asking, did you vote, and if you voted, by what method did you vote? So there's one of two things that are possible. Either there's false complaints being made, or there's people that are posing, pretending to be part of the canvassing effort, who really are not, in an attempt to purposely sabotage this effort. Now, I find it a strange coincidence that Yavapai County Sheriff's Office releases this the same day that Merrick Garland says they're going to scrutinize the Maricopa County audit for voter intimidation. And so I think we need to really be prepared here and understand what they're getting ready to do. They're building this narrative so that they can make their move. And so we need to really control the narrative here in these times. We are getting down to the wire. This is the last lap. We have like 8 boxes left on the last pallet of the hand recount portion of this audit. And here we have the feds looking for any reason to step in. So I hope that Wendy Rogers upholds her promise that if they touch one ballot, one machine, they will be in one of Arizona's prisons, because that's what should happen. Let's remember that this is the people's audit. We pushed them to do this, and we are going to see this all the way through, and nobody's going to stop us. Arizona will be the first domino to fall, then Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the entire country. We will leave no stone unturned until we have free and fair elections in this country, and we are 100% sure of it. So I dare anybody to step in and interfere with the people's audit of Maricopa County. Now, guys, going forward, it's going to be extremely important that we stay hyper vigilant. This is the last lap in Maricopa County, and so we have to control the narrative, not the mainstream media. So if you guys could, before you go, like this video and leave your comments down below. It will help promote this content to more viewers. And
okay, so that was Nick Moseder, and you can go to his YouTube. The link is right there in the description. You can click on that and subscribe to his YouTube and catch up with all his posts, all his videos. He might have a couple channels, and you can probably see that right from that main channel. But he is great patriot, great sharer of truth. So I'm going to go into Out of the Darkness, because after we did the live earlier, the Watchman party earlier, he came out with something new. So I wanted to include that as well.
I am Q. We have some
huge machine
news that just come out about the machines. A huge machine update. Guys, I'm going to have to go through this. You're going to have to listen very carefully. You might have to listen more than one time, because obviously this information is not smiled upon on this platform, but it is super important that we get it out. So those of you guys that have been following this know that there were some really weird things that took place in Pennsylvania back in November. We know that things were not on the up and up. We know that things were not done according to the book. And so we are simply asking for answers. And it looks like we are very close in the state of Pennsylvania to getting a full forensic audit. Add that to the fact that we had some really weird stuff go on this year, just a few months ago in the county, when the ballots were not being counted properly. And Republican ballots were being counted for the blue side. So it's important for us to look into this. Well, Matt DePerno talked a lot about the SQL software that was found in the machines in over in Antrim County, Michigan. Well, we now have confirmed information that the same SQL software that was found in the Antrim County, Michigan machines has also been found in Pennsylvania machines. Now, the crazy part about it is, if you remember, one of the reasons why the Department of Justice was fighting against the audit down in Michigan is that there's not supposed to be any programs or any systems that are involved in elections, right, that are not certified, right? They cannot be working in the elections or cannot be involved in the elections if they are not certified by the EAC, or the Election Assistance Commission. Well, this SQL software is not certified by the EAC. Okay, so it is not supposed to be allowed to be used, first and foremost. So simply what this system does, if you guys remember, it allows people to actually make changes to numbers within the system remotely. Okay, so they're actually able to make changes from a distance. The software on the Dumb Onion system, they simply take the info that is supplied to them by the SQL software and simply makes the changes accordingly. Well, therein lies the problem. If this information is not approved by the EAC, first and foremost, it's null and void. It should not be there. Secondly, the changes are able to be made, but the system is simply a slave to whatever the software tells it to do. This is explosive. This is huge. This is a way forward for them to get the forensic audit done. It's also a way forward to be able to give the old nixay to everything that took place in Pennsylvania. I hope you guys are able to decipher all of that and to read through between the lines so you know where I'm coming from. Share, share, share. I don't know how long this is going to be around, but you guys need to get this information out. You guys need to make sure you like, share, it pushes up the algorithm. I will see you guys next time. Comment below. Have a great day.
So, okay, you heard them. Those are all big things that have been happening these last few days. Well, big things have been happening for a little while now. Good things. And then you have other things that are happening that are trying to prevent those good things to coming to fruition. But you can't stop the truth. The truth will set you free, and light overcomes the darkness. So, it's time to awaken. And if you're not awakened, chances are you are awakened because you're on these channels. But the thing is that you have to share this. Share it with people who still do not know the things that have been going on. Share it. The truth will set you free, and it will set someone else free. You want to be on the side of truth. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Remember, we're trying to build up our subscriber list. We love you. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.